Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to That's Football. I hope you're all doing fantastic. Happy New Year. It's our first live stream on That's Football, and what a way to start it with Liverpool top of the league in 2024 at home to Newcastle, who I think are in a bit of bother. Massive game, absolutely massive game. Of course, we're about to hit this period where certain players are going to disappear from teams, not because Harry Potter's going to put their invisibility cloak on them, but because they're off to things like the Asia Cup and the AFCON, and obviously that's going to impact on somebody like Liverpool. But they are in a very, very strong position at the moment, top of the league, as we said, and they've got an opportunity to go 3 points top clear tonight, which I expect them to do. I do. I worry about Newcastle. As I said, if I can just get the league table up for you, I worry about Newcastle. I do. It keeps me awake at night. I really worry about them. Oh, Eddie Howe. Oh, how's he going to keep a job? No, I don't worry about like that. But in a footballing sense, I do worry about them because I think that. Let me just have a look at the league table here. So Liverpool top of the league, 42 points. Can go 3 points clear, as I said. But look at Newcastle, 29 points. And their next 3 games are Liverpool tonight, Man City, Aston Villa in the league. That's their next 3 games. I can see a scenario where they don't win any of those because the only home one is Man City. Villa away, don't fancy them. Liverpool don't fancy them. So you're telling me that in 3 games' time, they're not going to be in the bottom half of the league. And that is terrible. You know, you can't be there. It's the same with Ten Hag. You can't just say injury. You can't be in those positions. So, it's an interesting game. But look, this season has been. Manchester United went to Anfield just a couple of weeks ago and got a draw, and no one thought that. So we can't write Newcastle off completely. What are your thoughts on the game? But I do think that this is a meeting of 2 teams who are very much on different expectation pathways. And I think at the start of the season, I don't think a lot of people would have thought Newcastle would be where they are and where Liverpool are. So, things can turn around very, very quickly. But I think Newcastle are in a bit of a mini crisis at the moment. And I think Liverpool are certainly exceeding expectations and deserve to be where they are. But look, let's have a look at the league. We've done the league table. Let's have a look at the team lineups for you. Let's go to Liverpool first. And as you can see, Alisson, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, Gomez, Szoboszlai, Endo and Jones, and then Salah, Nunez and Diaz. Their bench has got Alexi McAllister on it, Gakpo, Elliott, Jota, Gravenberch. So very strong bench compared to Newcastle's, but Newcastle lining up with Dubravka, Livramento, Shaw, Botman and Byrne, Miley, Gameres, Longstaff, Joel Linton, Isaac and Gordon. It's still a decent Newcastle side, but remember they got turned over by Forest at St James's Park with a similar side. It's surprising. I mean, on the bench they've got Hall and Almiron. Lascelles on the bench, obviously with Botman back. So they are a little bit stronger than where they were a few weeks ago, but this is a tough game. It's a really tough game for Newcastle, and I can only see a Liverpool win. And I think Newcastle have got to get active in the January transfer window. Like my next door neighbour's got to get active down the gym. I mean, Jesus, I don't know what he's been doing over Christmas, but Newcastle have got to get active over the January transfer window. And you know what? It's a cracker. It's an absolute cracker to start the season off as well. We're ready to go. Come on. Come on. There we go. And it's a pleasure to be spending it with you. I hope you all had a fantastic New Year. Absolutely had a great Christmas, personally, and a great New Year. I think sometimes it can be a bit of a mixed bag, can't it? Like a night out with your missus's mates, but but no, it was great. I'm a Newcastle fan, but I think if they're going to get anything out of the game, they're to rely on Liverpool being the blunt instrument that they were against United, says Robbo. Eddie Howe lacks personality and winning instinct to lead Newcastle to a title. Won't be long before the Saudis sack him, says Akash. I've said this. And Mark, watch along for Luke Littler, semi-final darts tomorrow, says Ben. You know what? What time is it? I might do it. Candy's still hungover. You know what? I had a lot to drink last night. I was on the spiced rum. I was on the beer and then I got on the spiced rum. Went to bed about 2. Was up at about 9 and actually felt okay. Actually felt okay. But I hope you had a good one. I had a really good Christmas and New Year, and it doesn't always work out like that. I tell you what, it's Liverpool all over Newcastle at the moment, though. Trent, deflection. Oh, if Liverpool get the early goal here, this will be an absolute rout. This will be a rout. But what a way to start the not the Premier League. What a way to start 2024, eh? New Year's Day night, Liverpool against Newcastle. It takes me back to that 4-3 at Anfield with Keegan and Collymore and all of that. This is a great game to start the year off with, and you're very welcome on That's Football. Somebody on Twitter yesterday was actually digging me out for having an opinion on Arsenal. Why are you having a dig? What are you doing a watch along for an Arsenal game when you're a United fan? I was like, because I love football. Is this a rare thing then that people only watch the club they support? I've never heard such bollocks in all my life. I was playing Subbuteo when I was 8 years of age, and I used to love having an Arsenal team and a Liverpool team and a Man United team and an Everton team. I just love it. I love football. Sue me. Liverpool are all over Newcastle here now. This is going to be a long, hard night for Newcastle. They can counter, though. They can counter. Anthony Taylor's the ref. He's given a foul. We're in London, aren't we? We're not in London, we're in Liverpool. Anyway, Happy New Year. Hope you have a great 2024, everyone. We are on the road to 85,000 subscribers, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with That's Football. Lots to get involved with, as per usual. FA Cup weekend's coming up as well. I'm actually quite looking forward to the FA Cup. You know, I do like the FA Cup third round. I think a lot of it is nostalgia, but I do like it. January transfer window as well. We'll keep an eye on that for you as well. I actually do think that... somebody thought it was a penalty. It was a foul on the edge of the box. Anton Deck just seen on Sky Sports twerking, says GP. Let's see what happens with this free kick from Trent. He's going to whip this right on Dubravka. Yeah, good defending. They blocked it. Salah's there, though. Edge of the box. I think the January transfer window could either be a damp squib or it could really be impactful on the European and title race. And what I mean by that is if someone like Spurs or Newcastle go and get 2 or 3 players in, it'll be credible. What time's this Littler playing on the darts tomorrow, and how long does it go on for? I've played the game. That's my first one in 2025. 2024. It's on at 5:30 for 2 hours. Look, I'm going to consider it. Let's keep an eye open. The final's on Wednesday, isn't it? Blue, you're hilarious, mate. Do I think Bristol City will beat West Ham in the FA Cup? Well, I think anything's possible in the FA Cup, mate. Another free kick here for Liverpool. Starts at 7:30, usually an hour and a half. Sounds great, Ben. Sounds absolutely great. Let's have a look at it. I'll have a look in the morning. Free kick here for Szoboszlai to whip in. Way too much on that, and Dubravka catches it. Newcastle have got to weather the storm here. It's very similar to when United were playing here a couple of weeks ago. You've got to get through that first 20 minutes. Get through the first 20 minutes and let the home crowd get frustrated. But I tell you what a terrible ball that is. But oh no, it's all right. Newcastle have got it back. This Premier League season has been it's been crazy, hasn't it? The Christmas period has been mad in relation to results. I never would have thought Arsenal would take 1 point from 9. Villa taking 4 points from 9. And that's had an impact on the title race. I used to hate facial hair, but then it grew on me, says R. But And also, first of all, Happy New Year, says Killen. Secondly, do you keep track of all the players scouted for Man United? Any thoughts on... I don't know who those players are, Killen, so... And I don't know whether they're made-up names, so... Yeah, I don't know. Amy says, how much do you think the African Cup of Nations will affect the Premier League? Well, I'd like to ask people who are fans of other clubs how much you think it's going to impact on you. Man City lose nobody. Liverpool obviously lose Salah. I don't know who else they lose. Looking at the team that's starting today, I don't think anybody else would go apart from Salah to the Asia Cup or the... Endo, I think, goes to the Asia Cup, doesn't he? So... but you got McAllister back, so not massively for Liverpool. I don't think Arsenal are massively impacted either. Tottenham obviously are going to lose Son and Bissouma and Sarr, so that's quite impactful for them. Man United are going to lose Onana, but you know some would say that's a positive thing. So I think Liverpool will be top of the league, and I'd say Salah will be back by the time they play Chelsea. No. They won't be back for that. They won't be back for that. When Salah back, actually, it could be very impactful for Liverpool because Arsenal play Liverpool on the 4th of Feb, and I don't know whether Salah's back for that. I don't think he is. Liverpool have got some difficult games. They've got their next few Premier League games are. Let's have a look. So that's League Cup. They're busy, Liverpool, actually. They play Sunday, then they play next Wednesday, then they play Bournemouth, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. Bournemouth, Chelsea and Arsenal is probably what Salah's going to miss in the league. Konate's French, isn't he? Well, they'll miss Salah against Arsenal, definitely. If he's not playing, they'll miss him, yeah. But I suppose if Egypt get knocked out, I don't know what Egypt's AFCON fixtures are. Let's have a look. So Egypt play, 14th, 18th, and 22nd. So it could be if they get knocked out, he might be all right. Round of 16s on the 27th. Quarterfinals are on the weekend that they play. Yeah, so if Egypt gets to the quarterfinals, he's going to miss the Arsenal game. I think a lot of Liverpool fans might not be Egypt fans then. Swansea, Newport, Cardiff. Which you want to see in the Prem? Says Uber driver. None, really. Hi, Mark. Thoughts on Rooney's Birmingham record? Says Man United fan for life. Well, it's not great, is it? I mean, I'd like to see him turn it around, but I think a lot of Birmingham fans, like I do the podcast with Will, I think he wants Rooney to get sacked. Who do you think is going to get into Europe this year, says Reese? It depends how many places are up. If it's 7, it's more a case of who's not going to be in Europe. Keep an eye on Chelsea in the transfer market this January as well. Paul says it could cost Liverpool the league. Well, I don't think it's... I think the great thing about being loaded is you can afford to buy players that are going to benefit you. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Pep doesn't have many players from Africa or Asia anymore, because it can be detrimental in January, can't it? Hi, I mean, I know they used to have Morez, but hi, Mark. Happy New Year. Just treated myself to a takeaway to get over the Arsenal crumble, says Kieran. Hope you're doing well, Kieran. I don't know what's going on with Arsenal. Just seems to have run out of steam. But as I said on my match reaction last night, I do think that Arteta is holidayed with Ten Hag because they've both changed their goalkeeper and they're both obsessed with the buying people from Chelsea that don't seem to work. Man United fan for life says Rooney or Southgate for United. I'm definitely weighing in. Here's Nunez into Salah. Oh, he's got to score that. It was a great play. And it's another block. I tell you what, if you're Liverpool, you want one of these to go in the first 10 minutes because it's relentless. Endo over the bar and Nunez missing a big chance again here. I don't know whether it got stuck under his feet, but Salah would have had an assist. It was good play by Liverpool all the way through. Nunez slips it into Salah. Lovely ball back. Yeah, he's got to score. He's got to score that. Got to score that. Salah slipped it into him in just outside the 6-yard box, and it's a good save by Dubravka, but Nunez shouldn't be giving him that opportunity. Do you rate Nunez, Daisy? I always have. I always have. I always wanted him when he was at Benfica to come to United, and look, he's still got to work on his finishing. I just feel that at some point he is going to get prolific. But look at that work there. He's worked hard to win the ball back and then he misplaces the pass. Mark, thank you for this channel. As a fellow Man United fan, it's fun to enjoy football consistently, says Zach. Thank you very much, mate. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, you're all very welcome on That's Football. I agree with Paul. Havertz is Arsenal's version of McTominay. No goal, no performance. I mean, Havertz is better than McTominay, but I agree with that. If he doesn't score, it's hard to see. It's very rare he'll have a good game. I think Ud's right. Nunez is a bit chaotic. To be honest, I think Arsenal just seem like right now they lack ideas. Fulham fully deserve the win and will be interested to see what we do in January, says Kieran. Yeah, well, you can't play Nketiah. And, he's just not that level of a player. Leroy says, who do you think is going to win the January transfer window? Well, apparently Spurs are already looking at a centre-back, which I think is very intelligent. I think Newcastle will do some business, and I think Newcastle will do loans from Saudi Arabia. I really will be surprised if they don't. Mark, advice for a hangover, says Colin. Hydration, fresh air, and try and eat. Waste says, do you like turkey? I do. I won't eat it for a year now, though. I don't think I'll be eating turkey for a long time again. The African Cup or the AFCON starts, Wolf, in I think it's the 14th of Jan. I like this time of year, though. I like the FA Cup third round. You've got the Carabao Cup semi-finals. You've got the AFCONs going on, if you're interested in that. The NFL playoffs. You're starting to get towards the business end of the season. I don't like it when Christmas is over because it's a bit of a flat time, isn't it? I think even the happiest millionaire still probably feels a little bit down after Christmas because it gets built up so much. It's a unique time of year. You get to chill, hang around with friends, etc., and family. So when it's over, it's a little bit sad. But I always console myself with sport. The January transfer window, there's loads of football, etc. I just throw myself into sport, and there's a lot to get involved in. So you're very welcome on That's Football. Stevie Max says, what's the bevy of choice? Well, I got some of these little cans for the party last night, so I've got some Moretti, which I quite like. So I've got myself a couple of cans just to get myself through the match. Gary says, what about Liverpool for the quadruple? You do realise you're not in the Champions League. You can't win a treble or a quadruple or whatever you want to call it if you're not in the Champions League. Nunez header over the bar. Kieran says, do you rate Ben White? I don't dislike Ben White, but he ain't Trent and he ain't Trippier. You know, he is, and he's not Kyle Walker. He's not a right back in the sense that Arsenal are playing a centre back at right back, and that's not good. Salah's down the right hand side up against Dan Burn. You'd expect it to be a bit of a mismatch. Oh, good header by Botman there. Not sure if it's just me that feels like this, but why is Salah so underrated, says Connor? Don't know. I think it's maybe because he's Egyptian. And I don't mean that in a xenophobic way. I don't think people underrate him because he's Egyptian. I think they underrate him because, you know, if he was French or Brazilian, I think they wouldn't shut up. If he was English, they wouldn't shut up. I just think there's a bit of an ignorance to the mainstream sometimes that they don't value players as much as they should do when they're not from fashionable countries for football. But yeah, I mean, I just don't know why Salah's not spoken about as one of the world's best players enough. Here's Nunez. He's got to be scoring this one. Diaz has scored it. They want an offside, but I think it's going to be given. Diaz scoring. I mean, look, this is a player that Liverpool fans will say hasn't really hit the heights for about a year since his injury, and the flag has gone up. Offside, offside, offside. Let's have a look. Has Nunez gone too early? Looks, it's close. It's close. That looks close to me. Will we get to see the replay? Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Love the podcast. Hope it's on YouTube this year. Keep an eye on that NON podcast. Goldbridge Saves Football has got... Yeah, he's going to be off, I think. It's going to be close. Yeah. Keep an eye on the podcast. New episode out tomorrow. Goldbridge Saves Football. What's your opinion on Gary O'Neill and Wolves? Great, Reese. Doing a great job. Doing a great job. Taylor thinks this might be on. It's close. You know, it's close. It looks like it might be off, but I'm looking at the angle of the camera. I think this might be very close. I think it's going to be really close because those, you can tell those light. That's not. This is. I think he might be on. I think he's on. I think he's on. It's a massive goal if it's in, you know, because Newcastle nearly at 20 minutes keeping that clean sheet. Cara says it's off. I think he's on. I think the angle... Oh, he's miles off. Miles off. Miles off. Stand corrected, said the man in the orthopaedic shoe. Yeah, off. Christian says you could put a 747 in that gap. Well, that's a massive moment because Newcastle are nearly at 20 minutes here, keeping a clean sheet. And Liverpool will start to get a little bit nervous because this is exactly what happened in the United game where they just couldn't break them down. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. It's a stonewall penalty. Diaz taken down. Penalty, 100%. No doubt about it. I mean, he's about to score. It's a goal-scoring opportunity. I don't think you get a red card for this because it's double jeopardy, isn't it? It's a genuine attempt to win the ball. Yeah. And it's a penalty. I can't see... Even as a United fan, that's a penalty. There's no reason for him to go down. There's no reason for him to go down. Some people are saying red card. You don't get a red card unless you don't make a genuine attempt to get the ball because that's double jeopardy. So he tries to win the ball and therefore he'll only get a yellow card. It's not debatable. I've played the game. I've played the game. Gary, I've played the game. That's a penalty. I can't believe they're taking so long to look at this. What's going on here? Paul says, I'm a United fan and I hate Liverpool, but those lines are so off. Pay attention to where they draw it and the lines on the pitch. I can't believe it's taking this long for this penalty to be given. Hi, Mark. Do you think Chelsea can climb back up, says SA? I think it's all about what you do in the January transfer window, mate. Yeah. We haven't even seen... some people are saying it's a dive. I think naturally in that position you feel the contact and you go down. But all I would say is it's not really a reason to go down because he's through one-on-one. He's going to score. So in those positions, you really don't go down unless you're fouled because it's a goal. Gary Neville says it was a dive. But, you know, look, I've played the game as well, Gary. I've played 5-a-side. He's missed it! And Trent's missed it as well. Oh, my God. Peel me a carrot. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Dubravka makes the save from Salah. It's not a great penalty from Salah. But then Trent, with all the time in the world, puts it over the bar. I've got Salah in my FPL as well. That's missed points. Terrible penalty, but what's Trent doing here? What is he doing there? I tell you what, Trent has missed a couple of big chances for Liverpool. That one against Arsenal last week. Mad. Mad. Going back to the penalty and whether it's a dive. Look, Gary Neville's played the game at the highest level. He's a Man United legend. But I don't agree with him on that. I think he's talking nonsense. I've played the game. I haven't played it at the highest level. I've played 5-a-side, all sorts. And in that position, when you're one-on-one and you're about to tap it in, you don't need to dive. You dive on the edge of the box when you've got 3 or 4 players to get past. You don't need to dive when you're through one-on-one. Liverpool are going to score here. They're all over Newcastle. It's relentless. I'm a Liverpool supporter, but I love your content, Mark. Have a great 2024. And you as well, Squirrel. I can't believe some of you think it's a dive. Why dive? He's one-on-one. Don't see the point. I think it's a penalty. You know what? If that happens to Bruno Fernandes or Marcus Rashford, I'm screaming for a penalty. So I'm not doing any of this rivalry bullshit. I always view it in a way, if that happened to a United player, what would I want? And I think it's a penalty. But it's a crap penalty, though. It's a crap penalty. And but it's great news for Newcastle. Look, they're riding the storm here. They're riding a storm out here. And are Liverpool wandering in to another draw at home? Drew against United. Drew against Arsenal. Should have won both. 9 shots to 1. 67% possession. Do you think Spurs would be first without the injuries? Says Jack. I think it's amazing that Spurs are only 1 point off Arsenal. And I think Andrew's done a great job. Can you do a poll, Mark? Yeah, of course I can. Of course I can. Was it a penalty? Yes or no? Was it a penalty? There we go. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, because we're getting very close to 85,000. We are only 200 away. Get involved with That's Football. Loads coming up in the new year. Goldbridge Saves Football podcast. We're going to start putting video content up from that as well, which is just going to add to the channel. And yeah, lots to get through. I really enjoyed putting up the football challenge stuff. It wasn't meant to go up on That's Football. It was meant to go on my channel, but we ended up putting it on here because it was Christmas, and a lot of you seem to like it. So thank you very much. I really enjoyed making it, and we've got some more of that stuff coming up as well. Another corner to Liverpool. Van Dijk on the spin. Thanks for the super chats as well. Appreciate that. Carl says, if it wasn't a penalty, then nothing else is. Time for a stretch. I can't believe it's New Year's Day, you know. I don't think I've ever had a New Year's Day where... I don't think I've ever had a New Year's Day or a Boxing Day where I've just actually relaxed all day. I'll take what I can get. Today... felt like a very long day today. We had like... I took Seb out on his scooter for a walk before the rain, which was nice. Clear the head. What else did we do? This afternoon I made a fire and we're just relaxing in the living room. Seb was watching some Disney film and I was doing a crossword. And then Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was on. So I was watching that. I like that. I don't do it any other time of the year. Just chilling out. It's nice. But I don't think I've ever had a New Year's Day where I haven't done a football match. Maybe you're the same. But this is a cracking game. I've been looking forward to this. Really have. Liverpool have definitely been the better side, but Newcastle will grow into the game. I think Bruno Guimaraes is going to get booked. Yeah. I think he overcommitted there, Bruno Guimaraes. I think this is a yellow card. And he left his foot high as well. He's lucky. He lifts his foot, look. Lifted his foot on purpose there. I mean, it's not a red, but he knows what he's doing. 8 yellow cards for Bruno Guimaraes. If that's Casemiro, it's a red, says Keenan. Arteta, says Kev. Just wanted to say, really enjoyed the last podcast episode. Keep up the good work, Mark, says Kieran. Thanks for listening to the podcast. I mean, we only started it in the summer, but if you want something new in 2024, check out Goldbridge Saves Football podcast, out on a Tuesday and a Friday, and got loads planned for it this year. Really going to step up the guest game as well. You know, me and Will have just been establishing it. We've had Ben Foster on and Angry Ginge, but we're going to get more guests in 2024. Which will become easier when you see what we've got. Endo. No, bad shot. Half an hour's flown by here, hasn't it? What's your dream transfer for Manchester United? Sean, I will read the super chats. I just don't do it all the time straight away, but I have them all listed, so I will go through them. Don't worry. Do you think Guimaraes is the most dirty player in the Premier League? I really do like him, Ettore. I do like him. Well, look, sometimes it's easier to highlight what other clubs need. Arsenal need a striker, so I think Ivan Toney would be perfect for them. Chelsea need a striker. Victor Osimhen would be perfect for them. Szoboszlai with the shot blocked. Man United, it's not one player for me. I think United need a few, but I'd like a really good number 8. You know, I hate to say it, but I would have liked Alexi McAllister, someone like that. We also need a centre-back who's quick. Good play by Joel Linton here. Look at the turn of pace. Does well into Isaac. There's a break on here. They've done very well, Newcastle. They are a team on the break that can do well, but Joe Gomez intercepts there and Alisson passes it away. Not very well, though. Isaac's still on it. Newcastle are going to have few and far between opportunities to attack, but they have got the players to do it when they need to. You're doing tomorrow's game, says Gaz. Oh, my God. Van Dijk, good block. It was offside anyway. I probably won't if the darts are on. I'll be a Glory fan and get into the darts. Such a perfect day. Drink sangria in the park. I tell you what, Liverpool need to be careful about that on the break. Newcastle are more than capable. Tony's back on some Jason. Tony's back on some weird date, like the 17th of January, because it's exactly 8 months. So he's not back January the 1st. I think it's like the 17th of Jan or something like that. I'm tempted. I might do this darts watch along tomorrow. Put United stand at 7 and then jump straight on. I'm tempted to do it just for the bands. Because I do quite like the darts. He's back on the 16th. He's back on the 16th. Davor says Van Dijk's looking good the past few matches. Liverpool on the attack again. Curtis Jones. Nigerian Uber driver. Thanks for joining the members club, actually. Thank you very much for supporting. Get the badge in. If you want to become a member of That's Football, by the way, you get a little badge next to your name, and it changes colour every month that you're a member, all the way through to gold. And thank you very much for supporting the channel. Oh, nice ball. Miley in the box. Gomez has got him covered. Alisson clears it. Liverpool would... I wouldn't say they deserve... Well, with the penalty you'd expect it, but Liverpool will just be a little bit frustrated here because they've... struggling to get that first goal again. The interesting thing is, in 3 home games against Nottingham... In 3 home games against Arsenal, Newcastle and Manchester United, they failed to score the first goal. Arsenal scored first. They didn't score against Man United and they haven't scored against Newcastle. And that is problematic. It starts to play on your head a little bit. Lion versus Polar Bear. Who wins? Says it's Dan. Oh! 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 Oh, this is exciting. I tell a lie. Wait a minute. Newcastle are on the attack. Gordon. Oh, he's way overhit that. Way overhit that. Hi, Mark. When you lived in Ireland, did you go to any football games there? If so, what team? Keep up the good work, says Callum. I don't think I ever did. I don't remember going to actually watch a football match in Ireland. I think a polar bear would beat a lion, but today... I was watching on BBC One, Attenborough. I don't know what he was doing. It was almost like a variety show because he had in the sea, on the desert, ostriches, the lot. Anyway, I saw a clip today of a moose being attacked by a grizzly bear, and the grizzly bear in water took the moose down. And there's a prat in our chat who always says, moose, moose this, moose that, moose is really strong, oh, you don't want to fight a moose. And I thought, I wish they were watching this. Grizzly bear destroying a moose. Not in a sex way, just like killed it. It's the circle of life. Oh, that's going to be a foul. Nunez, I can't believe... One, I thought that was going to be a foul for a push on Botman, but, I mean, Nunez finishing is just... is a puzzler. How's he missed that? I mean, I thought it was going to be a foul for a push on Botman, but referee played it on. Do you think Sir Jim Radcliffe will be good, Mark, says 40? I've got no way of saying he'll be good or bad. Here's Newcastle. Nice little cross. This should be a goal. It is. It is. It's Dan Burn. It's Dan Burn for Newcastle on the break. Or is it offside? It's offside. Oh, my God. That was a moment. That was a moment. Ooh. What's your favourite carry-on film, says LFC Game. I hate carry-on films. And Nigel says Nunez finishing is so poor. So offside for the pass through to Isaac. It wasn't Dan Burn who was offside. Isaac was offside on the build-up. Yeah, going to say Dan Burn's miles onside. It was the build-up. A moose would mess a bear up bad. Must have been a baby one, says Rob. It wasn't. It was massive. It was massive. It's a good game. It's a good game. Let me just catch up on the Super Chats, by the way, because I will get in trouble. Rob says a moose would mess a bear up. Well, it didn't. Don't like carry-on films. Squirrel, welcome to the Members Club. You're a legend. Kate says, can you oil me up? Do you think Gamirez is a dirty player? We've done that. Do you do championship watch-along, says Timothy? No. Sean says, small contact, but he doesn't start to go down for another split second later. Watch the replay. Serve them right missing. He thinks it's a dive. Do you think Spurs would be first? I've done that. Done that. Do I think Chelsea? What's your opinion on Gary O'Neill? We've done that. Wayne K. Okay. We're all caught up. I think Gary O'Neill's done a fantastic job at Wolves, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, where Wolves are in the league and how they've been screwed by VAR. I mean, Wolves would be in a top 4 race. It's yeah. Do I have a MacBook, says Akash? Not with me. The interesting thing for me now is, do Liverpool start to panic a little bit? Because they just haven't, they're not scoring enough goals at Anfield. I think they're playing well. I mean, I have watched Liverpool's last 3 games at Anfield, haven't I? Because it was Man United, Arsenal, and then today. So I think they play well, but they're missing that cutting edge. You know what? I don't think people are wrong when they say it. If you had a Lewandowski or a Harry Kane up front for Liverpool, Harry Kane, let's say if you had Harry Kane, they'd win the league. They'd win the league. You can clip me on that. If Liverpool had Harry Kane up front, they'd win the league. It's that simple. They're creating the chances. They're not scoring the chances. And that is going to be the difference, because who've Man City got? Erling Haaland. I've played the game. I've played the game. You got to score the chances. I've played the game. It's a big chance for Nunez. They're going to show it here. I think that would have been a foul. I think that would have been a foul on bottom. I mean, it's a good save by Depravka. He uses his foot well. I think that would have been a foul. You know, if he'd scored that, I think that would have been reviewed by VAR. He's gone like that and he's back. I've played the game. I think that would have been a foul. Maybe soft, but on VAR, you can see. I'm blue and da and dee da and da. Here we go. Here we go. Diaz. No. Newcastle just need to get to half time here. 5 minutes. I was up till 1:30 drinking last night. And all day, if you'd said to me you'll have a drink tonight, I'd have said you're having a bloody laugh. It's like being back in Ireland. The amount of times I'd go to work hungover in the morning and say I'm never drinking again, and by 5 o'clock I'd be back in the pub. I'll have another pint. What are your thoughts on Euro 28 in the UK and Ireland? And only 2 countries have automatic qualifying, says Anil. Let's do Euro 24 first. Who's going to win the Champions League? If Tuchel was available, would you take him at United, says FB? I'd say City will win the Champions League because I'm boring. And I wouldn't take Tuchel at Man United, no. Matt says, a grizzly bear can decapitate a bull adult moose with a single swipe. Something to do with how the moose head is attached. There's videos of it. Wow, Matt. That is incredible. I will be Googling that later. Would you rather fight a hyena or a wild boar, says Pep. I'd beat them both. One punch. I'm not messing about. That little pig thing can do one. The only thing about a wild boar is you just got to be careful that if it comes up behind you and stabs you in the back, like a coward, which I've had that done a lot to me in this industry, so I'm used to it. So as it tries to do me from behind, I will spin around, grab it horns, pick it up, swing it around my head and go, I have the power, and throw it into the next postcode. And then go and find it and say, that's my pig. And putting it on a spit roast and eating it. Not the spit roast you're thinking about. As for the hyena, I'll tell it some jokes, it'll be laughing and then poof, uppercut. Knock it out, knock its bloody head, I'll knock its head off. Do you think the reason that most teams struggle to find a striker is because philosophically the youth want to play on the wing? I don't know why. CJ, if we've got any young players watching, I don't know why you're not playing as a striker anymore. Think getting rid of Mane over Salah does sometimes come back to bite us, says Connor. Yeah. Mark, do a poll who's better, Dubravka or Onana, says Abraham. Well, everyone will just vote Dubravka because Onana's not popular at the moment. I can't believe people are scared of a wild boar. It's just got big horns. Reasons for not wanting Tuchel at Man United, says Akash. Because I don't think Thomas Tuchel's the answer to Manchester United's problems. And I don't really want another ex-Chelsea coach managing Man United. Would you take O'Neill as England coach? Yes, George. I think he'd be a very good pick. Very, very intelligent comment, that, George. Oh, Liverpool should score here. Oh, what a terrible ball by Sir Bosley. They should have been in there. Here they are again. Darwin Nunez, where's he going to go? Loses it. I tell you what, I reckon this Liverpool crowd are going to start getting a bit frustrated here. Quality in the final third is just lacking. They've had more than enough of the ball to be leading here. Missed the penalty. I've said this, if Newcastle can survive long enough, the anxiety will start to creep in. And it's not for the first time. It's not for the first time that Liverpool have had this problem. Remember, this was the same at Kenilworth Road, wasn't it? Luton. Diaz does well. Should have been a... No, it's not a foul. Who's he booking? Luis Diaz. This booking for dissent thing is stupid. How do you spell dissent? Oh, I'll have had a drink. I think these bookings for dissent are stupid, though. Yeah, so Diaz has just been booked for dissent because he went like that. And as we know, Delo got sent off for doing it. But then you get Gibbs White, who performs quite a serious tackle on Johnny Evans and then screams and shouts at the referee because he gives a foul and gets a yellow. Anthony Taylor's losing control here as well. Yellow card for Miley. Remember you once had a bunch of geese square up to you live a few years ago on the United Stand. Nobody has heard from them since, says Jack. And would you take O'Neill as England coach? I've done that one. Gunnar, thank you very much for your super chat. Taylor is the worst. I mean, Taylor will book people for dissent because he's so bloody arrogant. Klopp's getting angry with the ref. The fourth official. 5 minutes added on here. What are you doing after this, Mark? What, you take me for a pint? I'll tell you what. I'll be in the. I'll be in Skogan. No, not Skogan. The Octagon in Knoll for 10:30. You can buy me a pint. I'm not really. I'll be in. I think I'm going to watch. I'm just going to sit and watch some porn. No, I'm not. I'm going to watch. I've told you 2 lies. I'll tell you the truth now. I'm either going to watch the rest of Indiana Jones' Last Crusade, which I recorded, or I'm going to watch Netflix, Ricky Gervais. Because even though I saw it live, it was still very good. Stop spelling descent like you're going down a fucking cave. We might see a red card here. It's getting a bit out there. Can you name any good English centre-backs? The days have gone on producing good English defenders, says Anil. I think that John Stones is a good centre-back. I think Harry Maguire and Lewis Dunk are old-fashioned centre-backs. That's the best compliment I could play them. But John Stones is a very modern centre-back. I do like Tamori. I don't think he's a great centre-back, but I do like Tamori. I've always liked him. Other ones I like. I think Colwell will be good in the future. Konsa's not bad. There's somebody... Guehi's not bad as well. Media go in on Mikel, but never Klopp, says 58 Go. Can you name any good... I've done that one as well. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. Please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right-hand corner. We're really close to 85,000. We're only 90 away. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe and get involved with That's Football. We've got a very fascinating game of football here. There'll be a lot to talk about at half-time. There's the stats, by the way. We'll be talking about those at half-time in more depth. But, yeah, I tell you what, it's been a good game. It's been a great chat, as always. You are legends. 67% of you said it was a penalty, by the way. 33% said no. We're definitely going to see a red card here. We're definitely going to see a red card. Definitely. Siegfried, thank you very much. Look, the big problem I have, and I always say this on the podcast, you should listen to Goldbridge Saves Football, because if you like football, it really is about football, but also some of the problems with football. And I don't have red-tinted glasses when I'm doing the podcast, and I try not to do it when I'm on here, although sometimes City fans will tell you I do. But even though I've got no love for Liverpool or Newcastle, and it is half-time, my big problem with bookings for dissent is there is no consistency. I watch other games where players go, fuck off, ref, and they don't get booked. I watch other games where, you know, Gibbs-White is borderline red card on Johnny Evans. He's pumped up. He gets the ball. He's going, I've got the ball. I've got the ball. I've got the ball. That's dissent. So he should have got a yellow for the foul and a yellow for the dissent. But there is no consistency with the dissent. They book people for dissent when they feel they want to. And if they're going to do it, do it. Like everybody needs to get booked for, but they don't do it. They do it in, you know, and then you know, the PGMOL will be going, oh, well done, Anthony, for booking them. You're absolutely right. Diaz went like this. The Newcastle player went like that. But in the next game, they won't do it. And this is the problem. This is the problem with officiating in the Premier League this year, is that, you know, what if Trent gets sent off and then misses the next game and they drop points? Well, you've impacted on the title race, haven't you? But you didn't book any Man City players when they were charging round the referee for the penalty against Everton, going, we want a penalty, we want a penalty. There's no consistency. And there's no consistency with the red cards. There's no consistency with handballs. There's no consistency with offsides. There's no consistency with anything in football. And that's what I mean. It's chaos. And chaos reigns because, oh, we're doing something about added time. And we're doing something about dissent. And we're doing something about offsides. You're doing too many things badly. You know, you are literally the Pratt who is, you know, master of no trade at all. You know, jack of all trades, master of none, basically. And I don't mind stamping it out for dissent, but it's inconsistent. So why do it? Mark, are we sure Anthony Taylor isn't on the City payroll? Was horrific when he officiated Villa versus Sheffield, and now this. He's just a horrific coach. He's a horrific referee, HPN. Like, he's just a bad referee. You know, I've had a few run-ins with people who've said, oh, you're a bit unfair on the officials. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not. I come from a place of evidence. I've done numerous watch-alongs over the years, and there's only one game where the first game I ever stopped watching and didn't see it through to the end was the cup final between Arsenal and Chelsea, where Taylor ruined it. And after 70 minutes, I just said, I've had enough. He sent a Chelsea player off. Arsenal are winning 1-0. This is rubbish. And he's ruined so many games that I've watched. And there's other referees out there that are better than him, but he gets the reputation of being the best referee. He's awful. I think he's absolutely awful. And I don't know him personally. Maybe he's a really nice guy, but you know what? If I was making a prediction, I think the way he referees, I'd guarantee he's a bit up himself, because I think you've got to be to do that job. Siegfried, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. I saw a couple of Liverpool fans calling for Szoboszlai, the next Kevin De Bruyne, when he's got less goals than Christian Romero and less assists than Jack Harrison, says Hessen. There we go. Van Gerwen lost in the darts, by the way. Thank you very much for those who've let us know. Jake says Anthony Taylor's brother's got a season ticket at Man City. I don't know whether that's true or not. Dan says, you look wrecked, mate. Well, I had a very late night last night, but I don't feel wrecked. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, let's have a look at the stats here at half-time, by the way, because there is a game of football going on. And although we wander off into chat all the time about officiating, we've had a penalty missed here. We've had 2 goals ruled out for offside. We believe both correctly. We've also had a game where Liverpool have really dominated but not been able to score again. Remember, our stats carousel is sponsored by OneFootball, by the way. You can download it for free. Links in the description. It's available on Apple and Android. Fantastic time to download it because it's January transfer window, so you can get all your latest breaking football news on there and get notified. Plus, also the stats. They have individual stats on the game, so you can have a look at the players and how they're performing individually. But collectively, 63% possession for Liverpool, 18 shots, 5 on target. Newcastle have had 1 shot, not on target, 4 corners to 2, 82% pass accuracy to 72%. Newcastle put a lot of hard work in, but ultimately it's 0-0. And I think that, you know, Liverpool really would have wanted the first goal to go in the first 10-15 minutes, because then Newcastle got to open up. The fact that it's 0-0, it plays on the crowd. It plays on the players. They become a little bit more desperate. They've had the chances, though. You know, Nunez, Diaz, Salah. I think it's... I said it in the first half, and I'll say it again. Liverpool probably haven't got the money to do it, but if they had a Harry Kane up front, they'd win this league piece of piss. They create the chances, they just don't score them. And you look at their last 3 home games, and you look at that draw at Luton. They should have beat Luton if they had a striker who can score, and they should have beaten Man United. They should have beaten Arsenal, and they should be winning here. And it's accumulating, isn't it? 1 goal in 2.5 games at Anfield, and there should be a lot more. It's definitely a penalty there, you know. Just showing it on a slow-mo. Carragher's looking like he's having a shit. I'm not a big fan of this on Sky, you know, where they stand up and start, you know, I think they look a bit like Pratt. Anyway, back to our show. As you can see, just keep an eye on the yellow cards. 2 yellow cards, one for Trent, one for Diaz, both for dissent. Both for dissent, so watch out for that. And then you've got Newcastle. They've got 2 yellow cards as well in the midfield, Miley and Gameres. I predicted that there will be a sending off in this game, so keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Shay says, the Premier League refs are the perfect example of having all the money but the wrong people in all areas, just like United and Chelsea. In reality, says Shay. Welcome to Members Club, Siegfried. Thank you very much. I'm going to start pushing that more this year, actually. We don't get many members on That's Football because I never really speak about it. But if you want to join the Members Club and get your badge in next to your name, like Siegfried, thank you very much for supporting the channel. You can do that by clicking the join button. When the commentators are using the ref's name more than any other player on the pitch, there's clearly something going on, says Ironic. You know what? I got asked a question on the football fill-in today, and it was who was the referee, female referee in the Premier League at the weekend? And I said, I don't know. And but I said, but I shouldn't know, because bottom line is, if you don't know a referee's name, then they're doing a good job. We don't need to know the name of the referee. If we know the name of the referee, it's because they're consistently crap. Well done to Passion for Gaming. He knew the name. Gakpo's on the bench. McAllister's on the bench. Gravenberch's on the bench. Harvey Elliott's on the bench. So they've got options there. But David says, Liverpool are a bit like Arsenal. They can't score goals. Well, the trouble that Arsenal and Liverpool have got is that there is a team that has a striker who can score goals, and that's Erling Haaland. And I think at the moment, looking at Liverpool, it's an area that they're struggling in. Jules, thank you very much for your super chat. Really appreciate that. Thoughts on the refereeing so far, says yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't think Anthony Taylor's had his worst game. I just think what he's done is make it about him. Like, the dissent thing is just arrogance. A lot of referees aren't doing anything about dissent. Who are the referees who do? Anthony Taylor, Michael Oliver. And that's because they've got high opinions of themselves. Like, it's like, who are you talking to? Do you know who I am? It's that sort of thing. So, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. Do you think Eddie Howe's going to get the sack? Well, I think the important thing to consider is that Newcastle at the moment, let me get it up on the screen for you. Newcastle are currently in 8th position. But that's only because they've got a point on as it stands. So they've got 29 points. And they're in 9th place if they lose this game, which I still think they will. Then they play Man City, where they'll lose. And then they play Villa at home, where I think they'll lose. By then, I think Chelsea go past them, and they're on 28. Wolves are on 28. So I think they'll be in the bottom half. Because Wolves' next Premier League game is... they've got Brighton away, Man United, and Chelsea. They'll win one of those. Probably against us, to be honest. So I think Newcastle are going to be mid-table. And I don't care what anybody says. Newcastle are not owned by Mike Ashley, who's going to go, oh, it's been a good ride. They're owned by Saudi Arabia, and they want to compete with the best, and they're not going to put up with it. So I think at some point... I think the January transfer window for Newcastle is massive. Like, if they want to keep Eddie Howe in the job, then they've got to go and do something. Now, I've heard that they're looking at David De Gea, which I think would be a very good signing for them. I think Newcastle will start winning again because they're a good team. But at the moment, they're drifting, and they're a bit like United, where the FA Cup is going to be the only thing that's relevant to them, because they're out of Europe, they're out of the Carabao Cup, and they're out of the race for top 4. So Newcastle need to have a good January transfer window, because after they play Villa, they've got Luton, Forest, Bournemouth, and then they play Arsenal. So they can kick on in the second part of the season, but I think the second half of the season is going to be fascinating because there's so many teams like Man United, Newcastle, Chelsea are all going, we just need to go on a run. We need to go on a run and have a late assault on the top four. But it's not going to happen. The league's too competitive. You know, if you're Chelsea or Newcastle or United, to go on a run, you've got to win 5 or 6 games in a row. You're not winning 5 or 6 games in a row, because to do that, you're going to have to beat at least 2 of the teams who are above you. And it's not that sort of league. It's not that sort of league. Start, bench, sell the first 3 Indiana Jones films, says Hessen. I never really liked Raiders of the Lost Ark, so I'd probably sell it. Bench Temple of Doom and start Last Crusade. I do like Last Crusade. I know I've just destroyed any Indiana Jones fans there, but I've got to be honest. I didn't like the original. I didn't like it when the monkey died. Salah's penalty was shit, Hansi. It was not good. I always liked Temple of Doom as a kid, because that's where they go on the bridge at the end with the crocodiles. I loved that. Was my favourite bit. I used to watch it, just that last 10 minutes. You are in a position. Answer the bung to the bungle. I don't know what he said really, but it sounded like that. Who do you think will be, and who do you want as England's manager after Southgate? Anyone, Thomas. Anyone will do. Anybody will do. The new Indiana Jones film's apparently crap, MD. I have no intention of watching it. Do you think Liverpool should invest in a striker, says Lung? No. I think Liverpool are a team that I wouldn't invest in at all. I don't think Liverpool need anything. I think Liverpool need 6 months to have a look at what they've got and then assess in the summer. I don't think Liverpool need to buy anything. I think that you've got a lot of players, and the next stage is to find out whether they're good enough or not. Because I think Liverpool have got a lot of players that are sort of transitioning. Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Alexi McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Endo, Gakpo, Diaz, Nunez. There's so many players at Liverpool where I think in 6 months you'll know more about them. I don't think you're at the point at the moment to say they're not Liverpool players or they're ready to be Liverpool players. I think they're going through that transition point. I don't, I can look at Arsenal and say, get a striker, get another midfielder. I can look at Chelsea and say, get a fucking striker. You can look at Spurs and say they need 3 or 4 just to bulk the squad out. But I look at Liverpool and I go, they've got a really good squad. The question mark about them is, I think in the next year or so, there'll be certain players in that squad where with the passing of time, you go, well, these are Liverpool players, or they're not quite Liverpool players. But I don't think Jurgen Klopp wants anyone. I don't think they'll get anyone at the moment. Do you think Liverpool have got a chance of getting Mbappe? Well, look, I think if Liverpool can get Mbappe, Sully, everyone would want Mbappe. They keep getting linked to Mbappe. I don't really understand why. Be a very, very expensive deal to do. I'd love to see Mbappe in the Premier League. I really, really would. I'm weird like this. I'm just going to say it. When the 94 World Cup happened in America, we had a real influx of foreign players. It was where it all started, really. And you had Klinsmann and Popescu there was another one. It was Klinsmann, Popescu, and somebody else, Dimitrescu at Spurs. There was the lad who went to Sheffield Wednesday, the right back, Petrescu. And it all started from there. And then Zola went to Chelsea. And I loved it. I was like, oh my God, these players are like, the Premier League is getting all these players. So as much as I don't like Man City, I'd rather Haaland was in the Premier League than not. And I'd rather Mbappe was in the Premier League than not. I just want us to have the best players because I think it ups the standard of the league and it gives everyone else a kick up the arse. And some would say, oh, I don't want Mbappe in the Premier League if he's not going to be at Man United. And I do get that. But on the other hand, it should be kicking United up the arse to go and do better business themselves. And the league gets stronger. I'm glad Erling Haaland's in the Premier League. He's the best striker in the world. I'd rather he was at United, but I think it makes the standard better. What about using the buyback clause for Solanke, says LR? He's very lucky. Is he not injured? Did you see that tackle on his knee? A lot of love in the chat for Endo, by the way. I mean, I don't watch Liverpool enough to really give a definitive analysis on their players. But I knew what Endo was. And when he went to Liverpool, I think I'd heard a lot of people go, oh, he's a stopgap. He's not really good enough. But to be fair, in this game, I think he's been flawless. It's not his fault that it's 0-0. And it very rarely is the holding midfielder's fault. He's been a really decent player. But I think McAllister's been brilliant for Liverpool. Black Prince says he's been the best player on the pitch so far. So we're up and running in the second half. It'll be a great point for Newcastle. As I said, it'd be a bit like United getting that point. But here we go. Endo's in a great position here. That pass needed to go back from Nunez. There's zero awareness there at all. I think Nunez is going to get subbed. He's having a bad game. And he gets a great ball from, I think it was from Endo. And he's just got to slip him back in. Here's Salah up against Dan Burn. Trent looked at the cross. Nunez is having a shit game. Really is. Yit says that Konate is the most underrated Liverpool player. The issue with Konate is just staying fit. Always been a really good player, very, very good player at Leipzig, and it's just fitness for him. Matt says, I'm glad Endo's getting some love. He's got great energy. Look, I said it. I've said it a few times, and I don't want to blow the trumpet of the channel, but we were speaking about this at the start of the season, and I said already I could see, I think it might have been that Newcastle game where Liverpool won, and I said it's incredible how Jurgen Klopp has rebuilt that midfield from where it was, and it needed rebuilding. But it was a good midfield. Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago was a very good midfield, but it needed rebuilding. And to do it in one summer, to the extent that he has, with a little bit of youth development and then some really good work in the market. You've got Gravenberch, Endo, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Gakpo can play in there. Options. So many options. Game's a bit stretched here. Diaz on the right-hand side. It's the final ball of Liverpool that's been the problem. Diaz, he's got to score this time, and he will, because he's passed it to Salah. Yeah, that's a goal. There we go. And that, you know what? I was literally just saying that Liverpool in the final third haven't really had the composure what they did there. And it was a front three goal. Diaz, Nunez, Salah. And I tell you what, Nunez, though, all right, he might miss the chances, and he clearly didn't fancy this one, but he's not too bad at assists, is he? It's a good goal, though, this. Szoboszlai gets it into Diaz. Diaz, you think he's held on to it for too long, carries the ball, lovely ball into Nunez, way onside, and then the cutback for Salah, way onside. Spencer says, if Spurs boost squad depth, are they title contenders next season? 1 point behind Arsenal with 4 full-backs in defence and missing their best player. It's exciting times for Spurs, Spencer. It's not offside. He's miles on. Look, Salah can't be offside because he's passed it back. So he can't be offside. He's behind. Firmino in the crowd, look. One 0. Tough for Newcastle now. It only takes a minute, girl. Or boy. But that goal that goal for Liverpool is like 3 goals. It's the goal that puts them in front and gives them 3 points, and it means Newcastle now have to open up, which means Liverpool will get more opportunity on the break. And it's interesting, isn't it? You know, Man City had a really good Christmas, even though they played a game less. I was saying before, Arsenal took 1 point from 9 over Christmas. Villa took 4 points from 9 over Christmas. Liverpool, if they win this, 7 points from 9. So it's the old adversaries, isn't it? It's Liverpool and Klopp who look the most likely to push Man City in a genuine title race. That's coming again quick, though. Early February, Arsenal-Liverpool at the Emirates. Remember when McTominay scored those 2 goals, he got his own tribute show on Match of the Day. I imagine it's all gone a bit quiet now, says Kenneth. Oh, yeah, definitely. Thanks for your super chat there. This could get embarrassing for Newcastle. Oh, what a save! How does Nunez miss these chances? How does he do it? Nicholas says, Liverpool never played this good against Man United. You were lucky. I think Man United defended better, mate. Man United didn't really give... I mean, I can't believe how many chances Liverpool have had so many chances in the penalty box. United didn't concede that many. Mist says, Nunez is a different breed. I don't know how he missed that one. I tell you what, Dubravka's actually having a good game. Nunez. Yeah. This is a good save. This reminds me of my save in that, if you know, you know. You know the save I made where I tipped it over the bar? Well, they haven't shown the replay from the cross from Salah. Why Jackson is first season is technically much better than Nunez and gets slated by everyone, including you. Jackson's underrated, says Vidant. Yeah, but Jackson's damaged himself by WhatsApping that Astrid wet, hasn't he? I mean, that's his worst miss. And footballers do stupid things, but getting caught on camera doing it. Caught in 4K. There it is. Oh, no, that's not that one. Not that one. This is the one. This is the one. Darwin Nunez. Oh, he need it. To be fair, he's need that, and it's hit Dubravka. It's not a great... Well, it is a good save. He'll take it. That's a good save. Hi, Mark. Happy New Year. Paul, Nunez versus Jackson. Who is the worst finisher? Don't put Højlund in there. Højlund's fucking... Don't put Rasmus Højlund into your chat about Jackson and Nunez. Goal. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Well, paint me purple and call me a blueberry, because that has definitely stunned even me. It's 1-1. It's Isak. And it's that quick. Unbelievable from Liverpool. Unbelievable. They put all the work in to get 1-0. And then within a couple of minutes, they get done. Gordon slips in Isak in between the two centre-backs. It's a good goal. It's a good goal. It's a very good goal. It's clean. Liverpool got to look at themselves defensively there. I don't think Alisson can do much, but 2 centre-backs have got caught, and also Gordon has skipped past, I don't know who it was on the right-hand side, too easily. And that's 1-1. Back to square one for Liverpool. They're going to have to start looking at some of these chances, aren't they? Happy New Year, everyone. It's been a cracker. Nunez versus Jackson poll. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one here. We always like to do the either ors. Nunez versus Jackson. Well then, maybe it is going to be a great Christmas for Man City. They'll be loving this if Liverpool drop points again. It's not close between Nunez and Jackson, by the way. Aidan says the fog on the Tyne. The fog on the Tyne is all mine, all mine. Liverpool need to be careful because Newcastle could counter here. I mean, this is exactly what happened at St James's Park. Liverpool were down to 10 men. Remember Van Dijk got sent off? Liverpool were down to 10 men and countered them twice. What's Almiron doing here? I don't even look like it was a foul. Mark, on a real note, most of the chances Nunez misses are actually harder to miss than to score, says Abraham. Oh no, it was a foul. Was a foul. Leroy says Jackson in his first season has got more goals than Nunez. Yeah, but he scored. Didn't he score 3 against Spurs who had 9 men? They were like, I would have scored them. My dog would have scored them and she's blind and deaf. Well, she's not totally blind, but she still would have scored them. Jose says, why YouTube and not Twitch? Because I've always done YouTube. Liverpool pouring forward here. It's a lovely ball. What's Nunez doing? He should have flicked it on. It's not going to finish 1-1, is it? Trent with the cross. Nunez doesn't win that. That's going to be a foul. Surely. Yep, it's given a foul. Half an hour to go. Nunez has won that bid at 75% to 25%. Not a great poll. Here's one for you. Start 2024 with this. Either or. Goldbridge has got a treat. Get voting on this. Bowen or Kulusevski? Who would you rather have in your team? Or who do you like better? I'm not talking about Jim Bowen, who used to present Darts Bullseye, by the way. He's dead. I'm talking about Jared Bowen, who's very much alive and doing very well for West Ham up front. And Kulusevski is doing very well for Spurs. Here's Diaz. You'd think Klopp will be making some changes soon. Salah wants it on the wide. Trent. Oh. Kula's got a great left foot, says Gabriel. He has. I'd probably take Kulusevski over Bowen for Man United. Do you still have the dog you used to walk through the field while doing streams, says Sean. Yeah, Robbie. Yeah. I did a drunk stream one night on Instagram, chatting away. I was absolutely hammered. Lovely ball into Diaz. Liverpool should have bought Højlund or Isaac, says Colour. Lovely play by Diaz here. Oh, straight across the box. You know what though? I still do think Nunez will come good. I just do. I might be naive. But he does miss a lot of chances. I can't lie. Please do subscribe, by the way. We're only 10 away from 85,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Make sure in 2024, if you're going to do something new, check out the podcast, Goldbridge Saves Football. Spotify, iTunes, new one out tomorrow. It will change your life. It won't. But it's called Marginal Games. It will make your life better a little bit. If you don't get on it early, you'll be getting on it in about a month anyway when you see some of the stuff we're going to do. So you may as well get on it early. Goldbridge Saves Football podcast. What do you think Newcastle need to be a team that can compete at the top? Says Dylan. They need a bigger squad. I think Newcastle, I think Newcastle one game a week, when everybody's fit, are difficult. I think they've just played too much football with the squad that they've got this season, and I think that's been their undoing. But if you're successful, you have to play more than one game a week. So Newcastle, for me, are a good team when they're playing one game a week. If they want to be a good team, you've got to be able to play 2 games a week. Therefore, they need a bigger squad with better players. It's defence against attack here. Diaz is still there. And they're still fighting there. Nunez or Lukaku, says Connor. I think any striker you put up against Nunez is going to lose, because I think we've got quite a few Liverpool fans in the chat. Great question, though, from Dylan there. And what do you think from Donny loan move? I think good choice for Donny, says Siegfried. Well, he's finished at Man United. I hope he can rebuild his career in Frankfurt. Happy New Year's, Mark. How was your New Year's Eve, says Cal. Very good. You might have seen on my Instagram playing a bit of this brilliant board game that we got, actually. You need a little tablet to play it. It's a bit like a combination of Trivial Pursuit and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but it's really, really good. So we were playing a bit of that, played a bit of pool, and then just, watched the fireworks on the telly, bit of a party food, drink. It was good. Really good. I had a really good Christmas, I feel a bit guilty when you say that, because I've had some bad Christmases and stuff like that. I'm always one of those people who doesn't really celebrate, doesn't want to acknowledge brilliance. Not brilliance, but you know what I mean. It was a good Christmas, though. But I know it's not always easy for everybody. That's what I'm trying to say. Some people hate it. Here's Salah. I don't know. I still think Liverpool are going to win this. He's missed again. You know what? Even Nunez really is unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable. He could not hit the ocean from a boat. The whole team as well. It must bother him. I think it does bother him. I think you can see it's bothering him. Szoboszlai's coming off for Gravenberch. I lost my live chat there, sorry. Hi, Goldbridge. Oh my God, I can't. Dubravka has to be man of the match if they don't win. If Liverpool don't win this game. Michael McAteer says, "Hi, Goldbridge. Yesterday I went through a surgery, and your content is helping me through the recovery. So cheers. I hope it's going well, Michael. Rest up. Rest up." Yeah, yellow card for Endo here. Endo. Yellow card. Son or Saka, says Zed Music. Well, we'll do that because Bowen's beaten Kulusevski 61% to 39%. So your next poll is Son or Saka. Interesting one. Interesting one. Mark, ham sandwich or cheese sandwich? Only one. I'll go with the ham, thank you, Cal. Happy New Year, Mark, as well, says Carl. Thank you very much. Do you think Man City are going to win the league? Says, yes, I do. That was my prediction at the start of the season, so I'm going to stick with it. Oh, way up. Bruno Guimaraes is gone. No, that's Joel Linton. It's all right. Yellow card. I thought it was Bruno Guimaraes for a minute. Liverpool can sub Szoboszlai for Gravenberch and bring Diaz for Nunez. Their recruitment is good this season, unlike Man United, says Nigel. Absolutely pissing it down in the UK at the moment, by the way, just if you're watching anywhere else. It hasn't been a white Christmas, it's been a wet Christmas. Not like that. But no, weather-wise, it's been wet. Wet, wet, wet. What's your favourite pot noodle, says Reese. I haven't had a pot noodle in years. I used to like this. Is it the spicy tomato one? Newcastle on the break could win this year. You know, this Premier League season's weird. It's really weird. I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle won this on the break. I just think it's a weird season. Dan Burns' cross is good. Ooh, Van Dijk did well. And Curtis Jones does well. Jota's on, by the way. Here's Salah. I think I'm trying to figure out what the subs are here for Liverpool. I think I'll have to put the graphic up. Yeah, Gakpo, Jota and Gravenberch for Diaz, Nunez and Szoboszlai. You can't fault him taking off Nunez, to be honest. Paul, Gerard, Lampard or Scholes as LFC. Well, Son's won. 81% to Saka. Thought that'd be closer, you know. Yadoi says, you get anything for Christmas? Nice. Yeah, I got quite a few bits. Quite a few nice little bits, actually. I've got some good Star Wars Lego, which I need to build at some point. Edge of the box. Good save by the Pravka again. Over the bar. Only way to fix Premier League is implementing salary caps. Take some power away from the players by making them prove themselves year over year with max contracts, says Nigerian Uber driver. Yeah, but it'd be completely against human rights. Although, well, actually, I say that. Don't they have salary caps in other sports? Jimmy Ward was shocked at that last part. I was shocked at how high it was for Son. I know Saka's not doing great at that. Recency bias has a lot to do on polls, though. You know, if I'd done an Onana against, hold on a minute, Newcastle on the attack, Gordon, straight at Alisson. If I did a Nana against Vicario in the summer, Onana would win with 90%. This time, Vicario would win 90%. In the unfortunate circumstances that United sack Ten Hag before the end of the season, is there any realistic manager you'd be after? Says Danny. Well, no, that Xabi Alonso is not realistic, Danny. De Zerbi's not realistic. It would be somebody who's available for free, which I think is the worst thing you can do. Yeah, Joe, we did the Pravka against Onana. He smashed him. I'll tell you what, 20 minutes to go. Liverpool fans will be getting a bit stressed here. A frustrating evening. And a frustrating start to 2024. This is just playing into Man City's hands. Start, bench, sell. Dumbledore, Gandalf or Merlin. Well, they're all wizards. Merlin gets sold. I can't be arsed with that nonsense about a bloody stone and a fucking sword in it and a round table. Boring. Never liked it. Hated the cartoon. Hated the TV series. Rubbish. So I'll sell Merlin and I will Dumbledore or Gandalf. I think Gandalf has to win, doesn't he? Yeah. Bench Dumbledore. Let's just take a moment to express how good a centre-back Araujo is. Fast, strong, and probably the best 1v1 centre-back. I can't think of a better defender, says Dennis. Is Araujo the best centre-back in the world? There you go. That's what Dennis is saying. Is he the best centre-back in the world? Oh, lovely playing by Gordon here. He's going to get in here. Canate. It's going to be a foul, surely. No, it's a goal kick. Ollie Watkins or Darwin Nunez has been... Well, it's Watkins at the moment. Come on, let's be real. He's Watkins' goals and assists contributions have been incredible this season. Must be nice, so nice supporting a team who constantly attacks and creates chances. Start, bench, sell. Palmer, Gordon, Bowen. Happy New Year, says Sean. Happy New Year to you as well. Start, bench, sell. Palmer, Gordon, Bowen. Honestly, sell Palmer. Bench Bowen, start Gordon. I know that won't hit with everybody, but are we going to get a winner here? Mark, what's your team of the season so far, says Rian. I can't answer that because I'm actually doing some content for it this week. And LFC Gamer says, are you doing that Gerrard, Scholes and Lampard poll? Would make for a good debate. I mean, I'm not doing the debate. So I will do the poll for you. I am not interested in the answer. And I'm not doing the debate. I am quitting Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard debate for the rest of my life. I'm bored of it. I've never really understood why it's such a big fucking topic anyway. Really. But vote away. I've got no interest in it. Newcastle on the attack here. Oh. Would have been offside anyway. What do you think of Isak, says Willie? Good player. Good player. I always quite liked him at... was it Sociedad? I know he was in La Liga. I always quite liked him, but he wasn't very prolific. But this has happened before. A striker comes to the Premier League. Goal! Goal, Liverpool. Curtis Jones. Could be tight. Could be tight on the offside. Don't get too excited. Could be tight on the offside. Philippe says, do you think Liverpool regret selling Solanke? No. I'm holding off here. Dara says that's the game. I don't think that's the game at all. I think Newcastle easily could get back into this. But the transition from Liverpool here is really quick. And Jota's made a difference since he came on. Nice ball into Salah. Slips him in. Yeah, it's a goal. There's no offside there. Easy. Easy. And to be fair to Liverpool, although they've missed a lot of chances, the 2 goals they've scored have been very well constructed in relation to passing moves. You know, you're literally passing it into an empty net. Front 3. Curtis Jones scores. Onside. Yeah, I just needed to watch it back. He's definitely onside. 100%. 2-1. To Liverpool. Finley, thank you very much for your super chat. Man of the match so far, says John. Well, I think Dubravka's had a good game. McAllister's just come on for Endo here. I think Endo's had a good game for Liverpool as well. Well, it's not over. Look, Almiron's in again here. Where's Liverpool's defence? And he shoots. Well, I tell you what, Liverpool's defence needs a bloody kick up the arse here, because that's a breakaway straight after a goal. Zemish says Nunez would have missed that chance. I tell you what, if he did miss that chance, that would be incredible. Kulusevski, Isak, Alanga make a good Swede front three. Yeah. JJJ, very good, yeah. Zed Music wants to do Lo Celso versus Ericsson. I will try and remember it, but I think Lo Celso will win that, to be honest. But, yeah. 29 shots for Liverpool, says Yadoy. But this is what I mean about Liverpool, though. Like, I don't think Liverpool need to buy anybody. I think they've got a load of players that they're still figuring out how good they are. They've got loads of options, Liverpool. Especially in the midfield and the attack. So many options now. Be interesting to see how they do without Salah, though, because Salah tends to have something to do with it. I can't believe Chelsea are looking to sell Conor Gallagher, by the way. I don't know whether we've got any Chelsea fans watching, but look, I'm not saying he's Jude Bellingham, but I think he's an impressive lad, and it must just be about raising money. It's amazing. Someone says Gallagher's amazing. Then someone else says Gallagher's shit. Look, I'm not saying he's a world beater, but I do think that, you know, coming through the youth setup and being a Chelsea lad, clearly doesn't want to go. I just don't think those sort of players should be got rid of. And people will say, well, you want to get rid of McTominay, but come on, Conor Gallagher's on a different level to Scott McTominay. He's actually a competent midfielder. I wouldn't be getting rid of him. Narrow says, yeah, it's mad. He's been our captain. He's always fit, and he's currently the best player in the squad. Well, Gakpo's just scored here. I can't believe he's not offside, but I'll have to keep an eye on this because this could be game over. They got rid of Mount too, says Adley. I think Mount wanted to go. I think it was about wages. I think this is going to get given. I mean, he looks miles offside, but... I presume he's timed his run to perfection. He might be off. In all honesty, if it gets given, the positive is that it's a Salah assist. And after that penalty miss, what a cross by Salah that is, by the way. Looks off to me. Well, that's how you cross with your right foot from the with your left foot. I think he might be off. Apparently it's on. Chat saying it's on. I don't know what you're watching that I'm not watching. I'm watching this on Sky, so I don't know how you lot can be ahead. Must be a different country thing. It's difficult to tell because the angle's not right. You can see the angle's not right. It has been given. It's 3-1, so it's a Salah assist. Goal and assist for Salah. Missed a penalty, but delivering on the FPL points. Let me have a quick look. I think I had a bad week, to be honest. Yeah, 36 points for me. So they're in again here. Oh, it could have been 4. Salah will be my captain though, so that'll give me some more points. United should sign 17-year-old Lucas Bergvall from Djurgården. Herman Menu could be beast of a future midfield, says Whackham. And if you're running with a boner, can you be offside, says JJJ. Well, why would you be running with one of those? Start, bench, sell. Iniesta, Modric and Kevin De Bruyne, says Sam. I don't really like start, bench, sells. I get they make me feel tired. On that one, I will start De Bruyne, I will bench Iniesta, and I will sell Modric. Goal! Botman! 3-2. Well, what a game we've had to start 2024 in the Premier League. Unbelievable. You think the game's over and Liverpool have gone to sleep again. And you've got to ask questions of the Liverpool defence here because they got that first goal conceded and they've done it again. Absolutely bullied them here. Burn jumps. Botman jumps. It's a very good header. There's nothing Alisson can do. And now they're in for a bumpy ride in the last 10 minutes. Well, what price a late equaliser here for Newcastle? If he doesn't go to Madrid, do you think Mbappe will go to Liverpool if Saudi Arabia still wants Salah, says Atoro? Well, he's consistently linked to Liverpool. I don't know how they construct that deal, but he is linked to them a lot. I don't know whether... The trouble with Mbappe is, I think Mbappe is the world's best player, but Klopp's got a team where everybody is part of the team. And, Mbappe, I don't know what Mbappe's like. I don't watch him enough to know what his personality's like. Is he a disruptor? Mourinho could renew his contract at Roma if he takes them to Champions League. He deserves it with the third lowest net spend over the past 1.5 years, says Yannick. Shocking marking, says Silent. Liverpool's defence hasn't been great tonight. It's been all about the attack. Endo has to be signing of the season, considering his cheap price. I was laughing at Liverpool for buying him, but he's completely proved me wrong, says City Man. Well, Liverpool might need another goal here. It's been a great game, to be honest. I mean, it's 3-2. We could have had another 3 goals. Still time. Johan says that Mbappe's parents are Liverpool fans. Well, good play by McAllister. What a ball. Jota, if he's onside here. Why has he dived? Penalty. Yellow card, Depravka. Well, this is what I mean. There's no reason to dive there for Jota. There's no reason. He's got an open goal, so he must get connection. It looked like he dived, but there's no reason to dive because he's through one-on-one. Yeah. Wow, he does take the contact and go down. He could have stayed on his feet. He takes the contact. Yeah, he takes the contact and goes down. That is a dive. That is a dive. But it's also a penalty because he does catch him. But the thing is, he didn't need to do it. He could have tapped that into an empty net. It's soft, but a penalty, in my opinion, yeah. He does. You should call him Mr. Tumble. I was surprised he went down. I don't think he needed to go down. It will be a penalty, though, because there's contact, but... yeah, my feeling on that is that he should have just... he should have just stayed on his feet and tapped it in. It didn't need to do it. Didn't need to do it. I'm not disputing that it's a foul. I'm not disputing it's a penalty. I just think he didn't need to go down. He should have just stayed on his feet and tapped it in. But maybe he thought the defender was there. And you know what? Sometimes I've seen players who are honest and try and stay on their feet. And then they miss. Well, is Salah going to miss another penalty here? He's going to take it. This will put the game to bed with 5 minutes to go. Farm says, do you remember Beatles about? Beatles about. He scored that time. That's game over. I have got Salah in my team, so that's 2 goals and an assist. So the points are looking good for FPL. But Farm says, do you remember Beatles about in the 90s, Mark? It was a classic. I do remember Beatles about. I think I should bring it back. Goldbridge is about. Who do you think is worse at the moment, Chelsea or Man United, says Casper? I don't watch Chelsea a lot, mate. I'll say we're worse than Chelsea, but I don't watch Chelsea a lot. That should be that now. Hi Mark, what team was better, Chelsea 05 or Liverpool 2019, says Daz. Chelsea 05 were very, very good. Very, very good. I think it's a penalty. I just don't think he needed to go down. That's, you know, it's a soft penalty, but he makes contact in a one-on-one. So, you know, he's definitely caught him. Cameron says it's a joke, but I just think he decided to go down. But he had a tap in. Somebody just mentioned there about what did they mention about Roma? Well, Roma is 7th in Serie A at the moment. And they're 5 points off Champions League football. Well, I think you've got to give Mo Salah man of the match, haven't you? 2 goals and an assist. Norval says, as a Liverpool fan, I don't think it's a penalty. But you know what? If they hadn't given a penalty for that, you'd be fuming with Jota for going down. You'd be like, why'd you go down? You got an open goal. It's just weird. I'll do a poll on it. Scholes beat Gerrard 44 to 41%. Lampard got 15%, by the way, if you give a shit. Let's do a poll on this. Where we go, start a penalty. Was it a penalty? Yes or no? Get your votes in. Indian Scouser says, I'm a hardcore Liverpool fan, but that's a bit of a dive. As I said, it looks to me like he gets the contact, the contact on his foot. He actually puts his foot on the ground and then decides to go down. I don't know why he just didn't carry on and just tap the ball in the net. But Liverpool are going to be over the moon with this win. And, you know, 4 goals in the second half. Yellow card for Longstaff here. 4 goals in the second half. It was 0-0 at half-time, wasn't it? I'm sure it was 0-0 at half-time. I'm just thinking that. We've had a 6-goal second half. You don't get that very often. Yeah, 6 goals in the second half, 0-0 at half-time. %54% saying no penalty, by the way. Oh, Longstaff and Van Dijk having a bit of a set too. What happened to the drawstrings on that hoodie, Mark? Says Pat. Oh, one of them was right the way down here, and the other one was half up there, and I just couldn't be bothered to try and pull it through, so I threw it out. Lazy bridge. Paul says, I don't think it's a penalty. Thank you very much to Shane Hughes. Anyone that says Liverpool is a hater because they haven't watched Liverpool football versus Tottenham and Newcastle at the start of the year, says Paul. Well, fair play to the Liverpool fans who are saying it's a dive. I suppose you can do that from a position of winning, but are you going to do a match reaction? Yeah, I'll do one, yeah. I think it's been such a good game, it deserves one, doesn't it, really? I do feel for Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle deserve anything from this game. I mean, look, we can all talk about, you know, penalties and stuff like that. But what you can't not talk about is Liverpool have had 32 shots to 5 and 15 shots to 3 on target. It's not an illusion that Liverpool are winning the game. You can talk about individual decisions. Liverpool fans can talk about misses. They've missed a lot of chances. They should have won this game probably by more than 4 anyway. But it's been a good game. I do feel sorry for Newcastle though. Not like I say, not because I think they deserve to win the game. I don't think they have. I don't think they've even deserved to draw the game. But they're not bad. They're just not able to play this volume of football. I think Newcastle last season worked well on a limited squad with no European football. I think this season they've just not got the squad for this, and they're tired. And they've got a very, very difficult January. Like I said, they've got Sunderland in the FA Cup at the weekend. That'll be tough. A tough atmosphere anyway. And then they've got Man City at Newcastle, which will be very tough for them. And they've got Villa at Villa, which will be tough for them. So, yeah, it could get worse. Could get worse. I mean, Sunderland are 6th in the Championship. So they're no pushovers. I think that's going to be a really interesting game. What player should Liverpool prioritise in January, striker or defender? Has Nunez failed? Rob, I personally don't think Liverpool need to buy anything in January. I don't think the January market is easy to deal in, and I don't think Liverpool really do need a standout player. I think go with what you've got, really. But I don't know whether they are looking at anyone. Would you say that Everton, Newcastle, Villa, and Leeds are all bigger clubs than Spurs? Says Marlowe. I think it's all much of a much, really. Salah, this could be 5. And they've blocked it again. I mean, Newcastle, really, this could have been 7 or 8. It really could have been 7 or 8. Christopher says, makes sense. Liverpool get gifted 2 decisions when every referee is afraid of or in Klopp's back pocket. Guess that's what's constant bitching gets you, says Christopher. And also SM Punker says, big fan Mark, you've got me through some tough times with the laughs. Always whack on a few bets when I watch the streams with you to help me get into the games, and just won 220 quid, 210 quid. So donating a share. Well done, mate. Well done. Good start to the year. Thank you very much. Thanks for your support. Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Might be doing a darts watch along tomorrow night. We'll see how it goes, but might well do it. Don't forget the podcast's out tomorrow as well. Goldbridge Saves Football. I think it's going out a bit later tomorrow, about 2 o'clock, because of the New Year's Day. We couldn't record it today. 3 minutes left. We're well into stoppage time. Yeah, make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. been a good game. I mean, look, I don't like Liverpool. I'm not going to pretend I do as a United fan. I don't like Liverpool, but you put that aside if you like football, don't you? And Newcastle made a game of it. It could have been ridiculous. I think the Pravkas had a good game. They put a lot of bodies on the line, but they were never, ever, ever capable of winning this game. In fact, they've had more shots tonight than any other game this season. In fact, with Manchester United, where it was 0-0. Jay says, what would the score be if McTominay was in Newcastle's midfield? Yeah, double figures. Was that third not offside anyway? It's not a penalty, says Scott. I think they might have picked that up. Mark, look at Liverpool XG for the match, says Easy. Is it like 7.2 or something like that? Yeah, well, that's right. I think they could have had 7. And that's the final whistle. It finishes 4-2 to Newcastle. I don't think they can have any complaints. I really don't think they can have any complaints. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We might be back well, I will be back tomorrow with some content, but we might be back tomorrow with a live darts thing. We'll see how we do about that. But I'm going to do a quick match reaction. I'll get that up in about 10 minutes for you. Legends tonight. Enjoy the rest of your New Year's Day. Really enjoyed the match and the chat as always. Big year 2024 for That's Football. And I'll speak to you all soon. Make sure you subscribe and keep getting involved. Speak to you in a bit.